Hey guys, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my Project Life album that I took on a road trip up to Portland, Oregon with my son, who is 14, this past summer. So instead of doing like a traveler's notebook while we were gone or waiting to get back home to like scrapbook the whole trip, I decided to take some supplies with us, which I did do a video walking you through everything I took, and I will leave a link to it down below as well as a card up here if you're interested in seeing everything that I took on our trip with us. But I did a Project Life in a 6x8 album for the week that we were gone, and I took my selfie so that I could print the photos as we went. So you guys had asked to see a flip through of this album, so that is what I'm going to do today. I am going to try to keep this fairly short. So if you have any questions or I didn't talk about something or you want to know more about a particular page, whatever, feel free to leave me a comment down below and I will do my best to answer all of those. So this is a Becky Higgins Project Life binder. It holds the 6x8, I guess, sleeves or whatever, photo pages. I did take a variety of layouts of the pages. I took the 4 3x4s, the 2 4x6s, and then the one that has the 2 3x4s and the 4x6 at the bottom, which you'll see as I flip through. But I also took this like sleeve thing, and I purchased this separately, and every day or whatever when we got back, if I wanted to keep something or I wasn't sure where I wanted to put it in the album, I just put it in this sleeve. So right now that the album is complete, I have just kind of various memorabilia type things in here. So there's a map to the Powell's bookstore, there's a map to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, there's various like receipts and things that I didn't want to like put in the album, and there's a map to the Portland Art Museum. And I find this is a really great way, because I would feel bad, you know, getting rid of these because they are part of our trip, and you know, we did use these quite a bit, so I thought this would be kind of a fun way to store them and keep them with everything else. And, you know, if we want to look back through it or whatever, we can. So this is my first page. I don't have like a title page or cover page or anything. I just jumped right in. And so you'll see throughout I did like screenshots of our like trip itinerary, I guess. I don't know. So this was on our first day, and we were like in the middle of nowhere pretty much, in the Central Valley of California. We live right outside of Los Angeles, so we had quite a long trip. I think it was like 14 or 15 hours of driving total. I can't remember because some days were longer than anticipated because of stopping. So it was just my son and I, and we did like a mother-son road trip, and it was really fun. So this was the first day, and we stopped in Sacramento and we ate dinner at this place called Perry's, I think it was. And my son loves breakfast for dinner, so he got like these massive waffles, which were super intense, and he couldn't even finish them because they were just crazy. So yeah, so I just journaled a little bit about our first day of driving. He journaled a little bit about the waffles, and then the hotel that we stayed at had a massive pool, and he is in water polo at school. So after kind of several weeks of practicing with the team and stuff and learning the basics of water polo, he showed me a bunch of his stuff in the pool for the first time. So that was really exciting, and he's a total water baby just like I am. So that was really fun, and I'm so glad that he was like game to do some of the journaling and stuff. And he actually picked out a bunch of the cards himself. That was kind of, while I was printing the photos, that's what he would do. He would kind of put the cards in and stuff for me. And then this is him. He's so cute. And he's getting so big. He's taller than I am. So anyway, I'm just writing a little bit about him and how much I love him, because I do. And then over here, he was doing cannonballs, of course, because he's ridiculous. So he really enjoyed the pool at this place. It was really big. I think it was even bigger than the pool at his school, which is crazy, whatever, but it was really funny. And then he wanted me to time him swimming from one end of the pool to the other to see if he could get faster, and he did. So yeah, so this was the second day, and this was like a long driving day because we were driving from Sacramento all the way up to Portland, and it was a long day of driving. He's only 14, so he can't drive, so I had to do it all myself, which is fine. You know, I've driven across the country, so it's not a big deal, but it was just funny. And he never ever takes naps, but he slept in the car, which was hilarious to me because he never ever naps. So that was funny. And then we also, of course, went past Mount Shasta, which is such a beautiful mountain, and I can't believe people like actually climb it, but they do. They go like up here like that to the very top. And so yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. And we did stop and pull over so we could like check it out and stuff, and that was really cool. And there were some stressful parts of the drive, so we just like wrote about that because my son was making fun of me, and it was funny. It was fine. We weren't in any danger or anything. I was just kind of like freaking out a little bit because there was like some very narrow bridges and some very big trucks, and it was just kind of stressful. So that's just him taking a picture of Mount Shasta, and then I kind of have a history of taking ridiculous selfies with me pointing to something like particular in the background, in this case the mountain, you know. But I've also done it with like other random stuff, like the giant peachoid thing in South Carolina. I did this too. Like I do it all the time. It's really ridiculous, but anyway, that's kind of the backstory of this one. Like, ooh, because I texted my boyfriend that picture. So yeah, so this is my boy in front of the big mountain. He's being ridiculous again, laughing at me, of course, as teenage boys tend to do. So we finally made it to Oregon, and that was exciting. We tried to take a picture of the sign. It kind of failed. We don't do the whole pull over and stop thing. We just don't. We just wanted to get there. This thing is kind of an inside joke. It's another picture I sent to my boyfriend. So yeah, so the first night we got there, we did an Airbnb of a really nice apartment actually. And I think it was pretty much in downtown. It was like right on Jefferson Street or right around there or whatever. It was by the big soccer like field thing, and only like a couple blocks away from like the main street, whatever it is. I don't know, Burnside maybe? I don't know. But anyway, so we ordered pizza in because we were just so tired, and it was already like 8 o'clock or something, so we were just kind of done for the day. And then the next day was a really fun day. We went to all of these places. We went to Powell's, which is their huge bookstore. It's like 3 or 4 stories. And my son and I love books. Like he brought a ton of his saved up, like earned money and stuff. And he spent a lot of it at Powell's because he loves books, and it was so fun and so cool. And then we went to Little Big Burger, which is just a couple blocks away from the Powell's. He wanted ice cream. We saw a Dick Blick, so of course we went in there and I picked up some stuff. And then we were just kind of wanting to chill, so we went into Whole Foods and we got some drinks, and they had like these nice tables outside, like picnic table type things. So we just sat and we had our drinks and we just kind of people watched for a little bit while we tried to figure out what else to do. So I love this postcard. I think I got this at Powell's. This is a picture of Powell's. And then I took a bunch of pictures at Little Big Burger. It was really good. And they had like, I think it was like a vegan burger patty, which blew my mind. One, because it seems like nobody ever has those. I'm not a vegan, but I am a vegetarian. So that was really cool that they had an option for me there. So this was mine. And it like looks like meat. It didn't really taste like meat, but that's fine because meat kind of grosses me out. But my son loved it. He was chowing down. I will say though, if you ever go there, their ketchup, you guys, has like cayenne pepper in it, which I don't do spicy food at all. And I was dumb, and what I normally do with fries is like I'll dump them out, you know, and then like squirt the ketchup all over the top. I don't really dip, you know, dry fries into ketchup. So like I squirted this ketchup all over my fries, not knowing it was spicy. And I'm like, what the heck did they put in these fries? Why are they so spicy? And I was about halfway through and I finally looked at the ketchup thing and it was hot. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But we wound up going back to Little Big Burger at some point later on in the trip, because we were in Portland, I think, for like 3 or 4 days, 3 full days or 4 full days, something like that. So we did go back. And I knew better that time. No ketchup for me. So I just have some like parking tickets because we parked downtown a few times. I think we were in the Director's Park maybe, or the Founder's Park. I can't remember which one it was. But it's the one that has this place, the Elephants in the Park like restaurant. So I think we had dinner there one night. Because they had like this big outdoor like chessboard that my son was obsessed with watching people play. So yeah, so like I say here on this card, we were gonna go see Civil War because there was like a movie theater like right next to the park or whatever. But of course we missed our showing by like 10 minutes and he didn't want to go in and missed the very beginning, so like whatever. So we had dinner at this place and we watched people play outdoor chess for a while, which was actually fine. It worked out fine. And it was really cool to watch people do that. And then that was like kind of pretty much the end of the day. Once the movie was over, it was like almost midnight or something. So we just went back to the apartment and I think maybe we played a game or something and then went to bed. And then the next morning we went to the Pepper Box, which was on the other side of the river. And oh my gosh, you guys, it was so freaking good. This one was mine with the avocado on it. It was like a vegetarian like migas or something. But it was amazing. This was probably the best meal I ate in Portland. It was so good and I would totally go there again. My son got like this pile of things. I don't know. He thought it was kind of spicy, which is funny because he actually likes spicy food. And then since we were on that side of the river anyway, we went to Collage, which is a really fun art and craft store, and they have this huge wall of washi which I posted on my Instagram and y'all love that photo, and so I printed it out and put it in here. But it was really fun. I picked up some cute stuff. And then the afternoon we went over to Ground Control, which is over by Powell's downtown. And this place was so cool. It was like a 2-story oldie time like arcade thing, and they had pinball machines upstairs. They had a really cool bathroom, but my son was just in heaven. He had died and gone to heaven because he loves video games. So I think we were there for like 2 or 3 hours or something. And they have kind of like a bar area with seats and stuff. I did some work and doodling and sketching and stuff for the shop while he played video games, so that worked out well. And then we went to Voodoo Donuts, you guys. It was intense. We got like a big old box of donuts. We let them pick like a bunch of random ones for us because we'd never been there. We didn't know what to get. So yeah, so we got those and they were pretty good. I don't think they were the best donuts in the world. They were like all kind of the same, but they just had like different toppings. Like this M&M one, it was good, but like it would have been cool if they put M&Ms like in the donut batter. You know what I mean? Just kind of like make it a little bit more special. But I mean, it was still fun and it was a fun experience. And I think next time we will check out, I think it's Blue Star Donuts is the other big donut place up there. I don't know, we'll try it. We'll see how it goes. And then when we were at Powell's, we had bought this Harry Potter, it's like Trivial Pursuit Harry Potter. So we were playing that and it was super fun. Pretty much every night when we came back to the apartment, we would play some board games or cards or chess or something. Spency brought his wizard chess set, which you'll see later. It's really funny. And then the next day we were walking around downtown. We wound up going to the Portland Art Museum, so that was pretty cool. We spent some time there. And then we went back to like that park area where we were before. But it was really cool. They had a Starbucks over there, so we got some Starbies. What else did we do? Spency watched some guys play chess on the square and he played it too. It's like this huge outdoor chess set where the pieces are like 2 feet tall or something. And the board is like, you know, like big pavers or whatever. It was so cool to watch. The guys there were really good. We got lunch from Pastini, which was right next to the park, and that is this place. So that day we did go back a little bit early just so we could pack up and kind of rest up for the long driving day that was to come. But anyway, this is the big chess set. Like, it's huge, right? And these two guys were the best guys playing, so it was really fun to watch them. And then Spency wanted to play his wizard chess when we got back, so we did that. This is the ticket from the art museum. And then we headed back south. So we got to see our Shasta friend again, this time heading south. It totally looked like something out of The Hobbit. It was so surreal, but it totally did. It was so cool. So that was that. And then I forget, this is like Shasta Lake or part of one of the rivers that runs into it, or a smaller offshoot. I don't really remember, but this is kind of an inside joke in our family to be ridiculous like that. We drove from Portland to just outside of Sacramento. But the next day, it was not such a long drive. So we drove from, where's this? Roseville, I guess is where we were. I don't remember, maybe. So we drove from there down to Monterey. because we were adding like an extra stop on our way home so that we could go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which is my favorite aquarium ever. I grew up going here because I grew up on the Central Coast. I spent like my childhood there. So I went to this aquarium a bunch for like field trips and stuff, and it is so amazing. If you guys ever have a chance to go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, you have to do it. Like, you just have to. You just have to, trust me. It's so good. It's like right on the coast. It's beautiful. They take really good care of everything there. It's just really, really nice. So we got to see my penguins and we watched the penguin feeding, and that was super fun. They're super cute. They have a live stream like that you can watch anytime pretty much on the website of the penguins. Just FYI, they had a huge jellyfish exhibit, which was super cool, and they had so many different kinds. Saw things like seahorses and eels and all sorts of different tropical fish. They have this massive aquarium that has to be like 3 stories tall at least, maybe more, by like a city block wide. I don't know. It's massive. It's super intense. It's like taller than this appears and like 5 times the width of that. It's not this one, but like if you can imagine that, like super big. And they had things like sharks, and they had giant tunas. Spency was obsessed with the tunas. I don't know why. He thought they were really cool, and of course he's being ridiculous. This was like a giant kelp kind of habitat aquarium thing. They had like these orca friends. And then after the aquarium we did Cannery Row, which was really cool. They had a whole bunch of different shops and stuff. They had a really cool candy store that we got some candy from. And then we just kind of hung out in Monterey that night and spent the night there. And then the last day of our trip we headed home. So we went from Monterey down the Pacific Coast Highway, which is so gorgeous, you guys. Again, if you've never driven it, it's so beautiful. I'd never done it before this trip, so it was something that I really wanted to do, and it was totally worth it. It was so breathtaking. But anyway, so we drove from Monterey back down to LA on this day. So it was kind of a long day, but not as long as some of the others. So this is my son taking a picture of the beautiful ocean, which I love. This is us at Bixby Bridge, which was super fun. There was a guy there who had like a guitar, and he had some rabbits, and his rabbits would, no lie, sit on his head and like his shoulders and stuff as he was playing. And like people could go up there and he could put the rabbits on them too, and the rabbits were like the most chill rabbits. It was so funny. And then this is part of the Coast Drive. And then if we ever have to go by Buellton, which is just south of the town where I grew up, we always stop at Anderson's. So we don't usually get pea soup, but we always get like the cheese spread they have and like the onion bread and stuff. And it's kind of become like a running kind of funny tradition that my son like wants to ride in the dumb little like, I don't know, animated ride things. I don't know, it's so silly. He does it every year. It's so funny. So this one is like a little space shuttle. So he's like, ah, the sun is very hot. So yeah, so that is it. There's nothing really back here. But yeah, that was our road trip. So I hope you guys enjoyed this flip through. If you are curious about any of the supplies I used, or like the collections or little embellishments or anything like that, like I said, I did do a whole video on that, which I will link below and up here in a card. So this trip was so much fun, and I think we're gonna make it a tradition every year that we go on a mother-son road trip. So that is it for today's video. If you guys have not subscribed yet to my channel, you can do so down below. I would love to have you follow along on my crafty and planning adventures. I'm really proud of this album. It's the first like trip album thing that I've completed from start to finish, so I am super proud of it, and I'm so happy that my son helped me with it. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!